Good evening, and welcome to another edition of Tell the Truth and Shame the Devil. I'm Jennings Bernard, your host. As always, you can catch me right here each and every day, Monday through Friday, from 5 to 6 p.m. or whenever I am available. Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome in. It's cold out there. I know you already realize that. But it just goes to show you. Yesterday, I was sitting here. I want to thank my very special guest, Joe Kent, who came on some conversation as it relates to what's going on in this city and county of Memphis, Tennessee. I welcome him in anytime, and he sent me some more information this morning. And Joe, I appreciate you sending the information that you researched and got receipts on and all of that. And I want to apologize if it seemed like my voice is last night. I have a bad habit. Never have slept under the cover. I always sleep on top of the cover. Pajamas on. I love pajamas. Telling y'all that now. So I slept on top of the bed last night. Woke up. Throat was a little scratchy. Feeling like I got a cold still. Feeling like something with those something a little different. I'm doing what necessary to make self so said always not self so work sound shit hearing me. This this test here for a minute. So sure you know what thing is okay, but as I say welcome in, well, uh, I have a lot to talk about. So yesterday that I did my research on what we need to some other things to listen to about off. On one part she went off. On the other part, what the city is broke. It's broke in part, in my opinion, because we got too many uh, deficit administration. It was not doing what is necessary to make sure the city of Memphis is running properly. Many people got their hands out and got their purse and pocketbook and billfold open. See, this is not about serving people. It's about more or less people getting Joe Kent again, also sent me a, and then I put my own way to what's going on. Yes, let me say this. What police officers provide their needs is raises, I don't care if it's 5% that was promised to me. I don't really care if you dropped it down to 2%. They need the income. You may not need it if you got a job and you're doing the city council work or the county commissioner work as a part-time thing, but there are people out here that put their life on the line for you to be able to live safely and go to your job and do your job. But yet, yes, Cooper Smith, yes, city councilwoman, they will be back to you on next year. You stressed that. You said to the point that they are not winning, they're not going along with you all. They don't understand that the city is broke. And because it's broke, here we go again. All this previous administration, current administration are running the city from the city to the county. They're running it basically taken from Peter to pay Paul. They go to the rainy day fund when it's necessary and when they have to tell it. When people are wondering, are they going to be paid in the county? The same thing could probably happen in the city if they wasn't taken from Peter. Paul. You cannot run your household effectively taking from Peter to pay Paul. If you do that, you're going to go back and put money what you back where you took it from. In that savings account, you got you have saved over the years, but all of a sudden you may have went over and beyond your normal routine in maintaining your household. So what do? You go to your savings account. You take money out of that savings account to sustain you for the period of time, whether it's a month, 6 months, you never get the opportunity to replace it back into your savings account. So what happens? Time you got to pay Peter to take from Peter to pay Paul, you got to go back to your savings account. Sooner, 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 take it from paycheck. She said, when we get paid, basically, in January from the property taxes, then we will put it back into the rainy day fund. You can continue to do that, but sometimes you have too many deficits that you take from the rainy day fund, but you can't put it back when you get your check from the property taxes. And that's bad government. If you think I'm lying, go back and research Detroit, Michigan. They pretty much had to file bankruptcy. And I said that on the show a while back. I said, if Memphis, Tennessee, and Shelby County is not careful, we will be another Detroit, Michigan. Why? Because we got people in office, and I continue to say this. You may pay me attention, you may not, but sooner or later, sooner will be position Detroit was years ago. But Detroit is doing okay now because evidently they got people in office in Detroit know how to manage their money. Well, in Memphis, we got people just with name recognition, people who want to show uh, who they are, not how much qualified they are to be in there. They just want to show, hey, this is who I am. This is what family I'm a part of. But yet, they don't have the qualification to be able to take care of the business of the city and county. Here we say again, we got two projects that you want to go full force in. And that is Regional One. You put money in place to try to go on and do a Regional One. Do we need it? Probably so. But do we have the money to build it? No, we do not. Do we have the money to build a new jail? No, we do not. But they would tell you, hey, we moving forward because we're going to take from Peter to pay Paul. In other words, we're going to increase. And then you are Peter now as a taxpayer. They're going to increase your property taxes. And they even said it. She said, we haven't done it in 20 years, and now we're going to do it. She didn't directly say it, but she opened that door for you to know that you're going to have an increase in your property taxes. Just think about it. If they said one day we decide we're going to increase your property taxes by $1, oh, we're talking about billions of dollars. If they did $1, if they did $1.50, uh, but normally it's in the, as I call the change, maybe 75 cents, 80 cents, 60, 40 cents, and they raise millions of dollars. But then we run into a deficit. Uh, Avant, the chairman of the county commission, didn't say it, but she alluded to it. She threw it out there that we don't have the money. And to me, that's bad business. You all got to wake up and understand that we are broke, we're in trouble, and whenever they keep increasing your taxes to pay the bill, that says to you, and it should send an alarm to you that you are broke. Shelby County broke, but they're still doing, as I said before, these projects. And you'll sit back and say, oh, yeah, we need that. I need a lot of things, but I'm not going to take from one to take care of what I need as it relates to what I want. So you got to understand sometimes it's what you want, it's not what you need. Do we need a better facilities for the doctors to do what they do? Probably so. Do we need a county jail because people are dying in the jail? Probably so. And it's obvious that we need it, but can you pay for it? As I said to you before, the state said it's not going to give you any money to build that jail. All right. So now what do you do? They said, well, let them do what they do because they can raise taxes to the tune of 1,800,000,000. That's $2 billion all day long. And we are looking at to do our thing in regard to them not being able to run their own school board. We coming in, we gonna do what we do. And as I told you, from me just looking at it, in my opinion, they're doing it for a reason. One reason is that we put people on the school board that can't do the job. And because they can't do the job, that was a window, that was a door that was open up for the state to come in and say, hey, we can take over this $1.8 billion and run the school system, just say for $1 billion. That means loss of job. That means things that you all have been taxed on, and friends have cut deals with friends to be able to have this, that, and the other, and you think that the school system is running fine. It's not. It hasn't been for a long time because they're playing with your tax dollars. And because of that, we are in this system that we'll find out what the end's going to be come 2026. I say to you, and I said on yesterday, we need to wipe the slate clean and get people in office that understand the finance, the part of it. These are the people that you want in there. You don't want Joe Blow and Sam Jones and Sally Sue and Mary, Judy, or whoever in there that just you remember them, and that's why you vote for them, or you remember the family and you vote for them, and that's why we end up in the position that we're in. We're in a bad position. Just look overall as to the position that we're in. Violent crime city, number one. Why? It comes back to one thing: poor leadership. And once I said it, some of the friends of the elected officials, they all come back and typing and sending me messages. Oh, you don't know what I'm talking about. You talking about? Well, if I don't know what I'm talking about, what I'm saying to you is true. Can you afford a jail? No. Can you afford to build a new hospital? No. That's mismanagement. You're being given the money, but every time we are in a position, we got to go back and raise taxes some kind of way. It's almost like a switcheroo type game that's going on. You know, we'll raise your wheel tax, but then we'll brag on the fact we didn't raise your property tax. We'll do this and to make sure that you don't understand what's going on, but I understand it. Been understanding it for a long time. I tell you all the time when I ran for office, one of the elected officials said to me, Bernard, you can't be elected. And he proven true because of the Democratic Party, for one thing. I pissed them off a long time ago, and every time I did, I didn't get the support of the party that I supported for all those years. But then, guess what? That's something else that it took me a long time to understand. And therefore, I stand as an individual, not controlled by a party, not controlled by a sorority or any influence from a uh, fraternity. I can stand proudly and say what I would have done and what I will do, have been doing all my life is stand for you, the people. But you put people in office, and now look where you are. You're broke. Cooper Sutton said it. We are broke. She lashed out. Listen to the video. As the union said, she's not anti-union, but she's looking at the union coming. We're gonna give you 2%. If we give it to you, come next year, you're gonna be back here again. Well, Representative Sutton, that's the way it, it goes. The cost of living, the greed from the merchants who want more on their product, but yet you want the fire department, you want the city and county employees to stay right where they are when groceries and insurance and other things are going up. Yes, they need that increase. Yes, they're going to come back to you every year because every year things are going up. But it's your job, uh, Councilman uh, Cooper. It's your job to make sure that the funds that you take from the people by way of taxes, that you do the right thing about it. And I said in a statement that I made and put it on my Facebook page, and you can see it. I said, if you go find that $77.7 million and find out whose pocket that money is in or whose bank that money is in, it's missing because it has been said that it's missing. The receipts are on it that $77.7 million is missing. Do the administration care anything about it? No. What they do is tax you to replace this deficit. No. What happened to the $77.7 million? That's what we need to find out. And that's what any leader, any true administration would have done before they took office. No, you don't want to know. You're a part of the cover up, in my opinion. You just go along to get along because you're happy as the you're happy just to be there because I got to go along to get along. And it's obvious that administrations after administration have done that. And we end up on the low end of the totem pole. We have to come and stress our money that they complain about us coming to them for an increase. So if we don't come to them for a raise, whether it be county, city, or state government, how can you run government effectively? But when you have individuals that don't know what to do, it's the Peter to take from Peter to pay Paul syndrome. That's it. That's how. All of the state of Tennessee government has been ran. The state depends on you giving them funds to do what they do. The city and the county depend on you. The people that they don't want to give raises to, they depend on you giving them the money to run the city. But that's the problem, and that lies within the leadership. And I'm gonna keep saying it. I'm gonna keep talking about it. I'm gonna keep telling you that sooner or later that well is going to run dry. And when it runs dry, we're gonna have to file. And I think Memphis has been on the close. I've heard previous administration saying that we are close to bankruptcy. I've heard people say that if Tyree Nichols' parents was rewarded the $550 million that they wanted, it would have broken the city. I heard Cooper Sutton say on yesterday, you don't know how many lawsuits. Y'all don't know. Well, we should know. That's the representative's job, but they want to hide it from us. So we won't know. But she said it. We got so many lawsuits pending. We got so many new lawsuits coming in against the city, but yet you all want us to give you increases. Well, it's not our fault that the city is not being ran properly enough. That lawsuit after lawsuit happened, and yes, you have to pay the bill for the damage that has been done by way of the city or by way of the leadership in this city. See, sometimes you have to tighten up your belt and you have to just tell it just like it is so that people can understand where we are. Again, I take my hat off to the city councilwoman who just openly, under a little frustration, under a little anger, probably said something very strong that people are more worried about what you said and not worried about what you've done. See, the thing is, when she said what she said, and she may have used a language that may not be appropriate for that setting, but the same people talking about what she said openly, you say it every day. You say it in your house, you say it on your job, you say it privately to yourself, but yet, when somebody said and put emphasis on it, oh, it's the thing. Did you hear what she said? Did you hear how she said it? So, but you got her attention. You got, she got your attention. And because she got your attention now, you realize that we are in trouble. But you don't want to hear that we are in trouble part. What you want to hear is what she said. Even if she said that the city is ran like a person who with diarrhea, you know, and that's the way the city is being ran. And how do they do it? Go back again to the fact that they just say, hey, we just gonna tax the people. And let my opponent say it before I move back to the county. I want to talk about Chase Carlisle, Chase Carlisle City Council person. Joe sent me something, and Joe Kent, my guest on yesterday. I want to thank him again for coming in and being a part. And I give you the same invitation to come and talk to us here on Tell the Truth and Shame the Devil. And I appreciate him. And again, I say to him and anyone else who want to come on and we talk about what's going on in this city. See, it's not going to get better until we talk about it. And when we talk about it, then and only then will we make a difference in this city. So you have to get up. You have to stand up, speak up, make changes in the city. And in 2026, if we don't do it, ladies and gentlemen, we are doomed for bankruptcy court. I'll say it again. If we don't change the leadership and get qualified individual position to run this city from the clerk's office to every elected position, we are going to be in trouble. Depend on run all of these offices that I've talked to you, from the assessor's office to the trustee's office to all of the offices. money coming from uh, to run those offices by the way of taxes. Uh, that money they're taking from you to run the city. So you have to wake up and understand that the city is being ran by you, and you are deserving what you need to support your family from the money that you're giving the city to run. It's bad administration, it's bad and unqualified people that put us in the position that we are in. But City Councilman Chase Caldwell, I want to say this to you, and I listen and watch you. Understand now that you got a brother that's a part of a nonprofit that deals with the Sheraton Hotel, whether it be in management, you're wrong. You're not stepping completely down because that is totally a conflict of interest. Now, if you get ticked off because the people want to hold your feet to the fire, then get pissed off. That's on you. But to me, you're wrong. I got three brothers. One passed away. I got two other brothers now. That if I was in a position that I know either one of, and I was on the council, and I know either one of them decided that I want to bid on this, and they ended up getting the bid, or I knew that they wanted to bid, then I have to get myself away from it, not just temporarily, because your influence, Caldwell, your influence is still there, even though you recuse yourself. See, if a family member is going to get money from a government that you are a part of the administration of that government, you need to step away completely. Now, people will say, no, I don't believe that. Well, to me, if you don't believe that, then you are in support of something that your relatives, through your influence, is more likely to get that position. And that's where we are at. Councilman said that he stepped down, he recused himself. That don't mean nothing. But your presence, your influence as a council member is still there. So here we're talking about $30 million that the organization that your brother will be supporting and running the Sheraton Hotel, $30 million of taxpayers' money, and you want to think and have us to believe that you have done something very noble, or because I recuse myself, that don't mean nothing. Your brother's still gonna get paid, and you still gonna be on the council. Now, you're supposed to be an educated man. Don't that sound a little wrong? But see, greed has a way of making you forget everything about what is right when it comes to that 30 pieces of silver, in my opinion. And for you to sit and huff and puff, and your brother still is going to benefit. So understand this, if you and your brother, if y'all are family members, and one will be benefiting from the other, and you can't tell me as a citizen that you won't benefit from your brother's nonprofit running the Sheraton with $30 million and what other funds that they'll get from running that place, Chad Scarborough. See, you put on a show and have people believe that you're noble and you're doing the right thing. You're about as crooked as a dog hind leg, as they used to say. You know better. Other- So it's a game that they play. It's a game that they go along with, and we the people sit back and allow this to happen. I'll say to you, I'll say to any other leaders at this point, you're going to run this city into the ground.